So in every job, in every industry, stuff happens, mistakes happen. You get thrown a curveball every once in a while. And in real estate, those mistakes can get very expensive. And people can get very upset when they happen. Because of that, after 7 years and 500 plus transactions, I'm gonna go through today the top 5 things I wish I had known before becoming a real estate agent, because those are the things that are gonna help you as a new agent avoid some of these mistakes, some of which are costly, whether it's financially or costing you a friendship, a relationship, a client. We're here today to talk about what kind of pitfalls to avoid. So the first thing that I wish I would have known when getting my real estate license is that passing the test is the easy part. Getting your real estate license, going through pre-licensing, no matter what state you're affiliated with, it may seem like a lot of work. It's a lot of hours that you're sitting in a classroom or sitting behind your desk watching YouTube videos or webinars, but that's the easy part. Yes, you are going to learn a lot, but nothing will train you like being in the field and in the real estate world. You need to be in the trenches. You need to be opening doors for clients. You need to be shaking hands with new potential clients. You need to be getting told to off on the phone when you call someone as a cold call. You need to learn what it's like to be a real estate agent, because just taking the test and passing the class doesn't actually train you on what it feels like to be a real estate professional. And that is when the real learning begins, because once you pass the test, now you have to train yourself on what it feels like to be a real estate professional. When someone walks in the door at an open house and they look at you and they start asking you questions because they think you are the real estate professional, you need to feel confidently that you are a real estate professional. And that takes time, that takes energy, that takes practice. That's not something you're gonna learn on the test. You may learn how many square feet are in an acre, but you're not gonna learn what it feels like to be a real estate professional to a stranger. Number 2, you are not gonna learn in your real estate pre-licensing school what it's like to obsess over income generating activities. You need to, as a new agent, start training your brain to just obsess over income generating activities, making cold calls, sending out text messages, emailing potential clients, following up with people 40 plus times when they reach out to you for the first time, hosting open houses, going to networking events, doing showings, posting videos, getting on social media. All of these things help you go down the sales funnel, and you need to obsess over the process. You need to become so obsessed with income generating activities that you almost feel frustrated when you're not doing that. And you'll start to learn what that feels like. When you're cold calling people and meeting people and going out on appointments and going on showings, you're constantly moving down the funnel of the sales cycle. You need to be getting closer to buyer agency agreements, listing agreements, writing offers for buyers, receiving offers for listings. All of these things are coming from making calls, sending out text messages, DMing people on Instagram, putting together YouTube videos, all of these kinds of things, because they're income generating activities. And sure, every single video isn't gonna produce a sale, but every single video gets you closer to meeting a new client that could buy something or need to sell something. Every single phone call you make could get you closer to meeting someone who may need to buy a home or may need to sell their home because you called at the right time. Every single networking event you go to could get you in front of someone who actually has been meaning to reach out to a real estate agent, and magically, there you are. The biggest thing to think about with this piece, with the second piece about obsessing over income generating activity, is you need to set yourself up for the opportunity to get lucky. That's how you're going to make sure that you can build a business and start getting more clients. Number 3, you need to be constantly willing to learn. Just because you passed your real estate exam doesn't mean you're done learning. First of all, simply put, you still have post-licensing classes and annual continuing education. So there is going to be learning every single year that you're mandated to do. But in reality, there is so much that you learn in the field. There's so much that you're gonna learn when you're in the trenches every single day, cold calling people or working with new clients or putting deals together or trying to figure out how to bridge the gap between a buyer and a seller that neither one is super motivated to sell or buy. All of these different things that go on every single day that a real estate agent does is going to help you learn. And the only way to learn is by doing it and failing your way through it. So as you navigate this industry, you need to constantly remind yourself that you are learning. Everything that happens is a learning experience. There's no such thing as an easy paycheck in real estate. There really isn't. Sure, the media makes it look like that. Netflix makes it look like that. And some agents on YouTube make it look like that. But in reality, there is no such thing as an easy paycheck. And if something can go wrong in a transaction, it will. And every single time something goes wrong, it's an opportunity for you to learn. It's an opportunity for you to grow your repertoire of how to handle different situations. We are professional problem solvers. Our job is to be a professional problem solver and an appointment scheduler. That's it. We don't sell things. We are scheduling appointments to help people with their needs. We are there as real estate agents to solve people's real estate problems and real estate needs. So you are continuing to learn once you get out of the classroom. If you think you know it all, you will never succeed as a real estate agent. Brand new agents, make sure you're aligning with the right people who can teach you these things, because the faster you can learn, the quicker you can grow your business and the faster you can build out something that is sustainable and fun to be a part of. So speaking of failing forward, which I mentioned in the last point, that brings me to point number 4, which is you are going to fail forward every single day. Whether you make a phone call and someone tells you to piss off, or you go knock on a door and someone slams the door shut on you because you're bothering them for whatever reason, or you're trying to put a deal together and you forget to check a box and something happens in that transaction and that one box that could have been checked that you forgot to blows up in your face. Or maybe a year after a closing, you hear from a buyer who's very unhappy about something. There is so much that goes on in every single real estate transaction that you need to learn. You're constantly learning, you're constantly growing, like in point number 3. But ultimately, every single time that's happening, you're failing forward. I always tell people when I give speeches, I say, the only reason why I'm up on stage right now in front of all of you is because I have failed more than you have. I have failed at so many things, whether it's minor things or major things, that I have persevered through that in order to build a business. So that is a huge mindset piece. You are going to fail. You're going to fail every single day at something. Whether it's something small about running late to a showing and making a buyer a little upset, that's a failure. That's okay though, but it's still a failure. You want to now figure out how can you make sure that you are on time or early for the future showings, especially with that buyer, so you don't frustrate them again. Maybe you forgot to disclose something to a buyer's agent on one of your listings, and that pissed off the buyer and they decided to terminate. That's a failure on your part. But maybe there's something you can learn from that. You see how there's a trend here? Every time that something happens or doesn't happen that you can learn from, it's simply a failure. And that's okay to own that. You need to own the fact that that's a failure. You need to own the fact that you're learning and growing every single day. Even agents who have been in the industry for 10, 15, 20 years are still learning how to handle different situations, because some of them get pretty intense and some of them are not the most pleasant to deal with, and some of them are confusing. And so every single day, you need to remind yourself that you are going to fail at something, and that's okay. And finally, and this might sound a little weird, but resumes, they're a thing of the past. Social media is your new resume. You need to be active on social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can pick whatever one you want. No one platform is better than another platform, but the best platform is the one that you are going to be consistent on, because people look there. People are constantly looking at real estate agents and looking for real estate agents on every single social media platform. So make sure you're not a secret agent and that you can be searched for. Whether you're on Google or YouTube, which are both searchable, Instagram, also searchable, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of these things are very searchable platforms, and you need to make sure that you're on them. If your ideal clients are on one of these platforms, you need to be on them as well. No more are we sending out resumes and putting together all these binders and beautiful things of all the stuff we've done, because someone can just look me up on Instagram and look at what I've done. They can look at what my personality is like from watching one of my YouTube videos, and that's where they'll decide if they want to work with me or not, and then they'll call me, and that's powerful. So Make sure that you are active on social media and pick a platform. Don't do everything. Just pick a platform that works for you where your people are, because that is what's most important. You need to be in front of your ideal clients. So there you have it. Those are my 5 things that I wish I knew when I was getting started in real estate. Now, do me a huge favor. Be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And no matter whether you're a new agent or an experienced agent, I don't care how long you've been doing it, drop a comment below with the 5 things you wish you had known before getting into this industry, and I'll see you next week.